Here's Joe Rogan talking about monoclonal antibodies.
Many times with many people that I'm friends with. They're withholding monoclonal antibodies.
Ridiculous. No evidence to this. What a fucking ridiculous statement.
They're trying to stop people from getting them. There's not a fucking shortage of monoclonal antibodies.
And so what does that do?
Monoclonal antibodies kills COVID like Raid kills roaches. When you get shot up with...
So you get it after you get... So you get COVID, then you get this
That's what
treatment.
they gave Trump. And that's what they gave me.
Mm-hmm.
I got better quick. I got better fucking quick.
And Trump got better pretty quick.
Pretty quick, and he's old and fat. He's old and fat. And he got better in 4 days.
So why are they withholding it?
Because they want you to get vaccinated. That's what I think. I think they don't want there to be a very clear path where you don't have to be vaccinated, but if you get sick, you're going to be fine.
So is it just the money going into the pharmaceutical companies that's driving people to want everyone to get vaxxed?
It must have an influence. It's also the narrative. Right. There's also people that have been vaccinated that don't want people to get away without being vaccinated. Because I think they know.
Anyway.
They took a chance. I think secretly they know. Like if anybody pays any attention, they know someone who's had a bad reaction to the vaccine. Or someone who died shortly after the vaccine. Or they've watched some fucking soccer player drop on the field of a heart attack. And there's a lot of that going on, by the way. There was a study... See if you can find this study, Jamie, that showed the amount of athletes that have collapsed due to heart attacks over.
Not sure if my new hat is gay or straight, but I think it's dope. King. See? He doesn't confine himself to rigid gender norms or sexual norms, even though that's not even a thing.
Over the last 4 years, or over the last 4 months, has been more than over the last 4 years.
That's disturbing.
That's not good. That's not good. What is that from?
Much
It
love,
used to be available everywhere. This is the difference. When before, probably before I started blabbing about it, and before other people started blabbing about it, you used to be able to get monoclonal antibodies everywhere in Texas, and in a lot of other states too.
Is it a specific thing for COVID?
Yes. It is 100% for COVID.
This is like Alex Jones level nonsense, by the way. Like, what he's saying here is just straight up devoid of any sort of evidence, just completely fucking made up. Like, I don't know what else to say other than, like...
Here is to the best community on Twitch.
It's shocking
Love you, chat, and has
that he's saying all this. Like, it's just... Where is he getting this information from? Where? Like, what is leading him to say things like this?
22 months. Very poggers.
COVID, and it's available through emergency use authorization, just like the vaccine is. But it kills COVID like a bullet. Yeah, dude, it's like a 24-hour ride, and when the ride's over, you're like, oh, Everyone that I know that takes it says the same thing. It killed Ari's COVID real quick. My buddy Brigham, same deal. Tim Pool, same deal.
Like
Aaron
not,
Rodgers.
not sold by a big pharma company or something?
It's Regeneron. Regeneron makes it. I mean, it is.
It doesn't cost money for the person, but the state's paying for it.
Here's what Florida's aggressive push of monoclonal antibody treatment costs. Yeah, it costs money. But here's the thing. So's the fucking vaccine. But here's the thing. This stuff, if you have COVID and they...
Okay, for the record, monoclonal antibodies are dope. Having said that, though, 0% chance that the fucking antibodies are not more costly as a fucking treatment than the actual vaccine. And I'm willing to bet that that article, if you look at the whole article, they mention that. They probably wrote that article specifically to fucking mention that the monoclonal antibody treatment is actually more expensive to push for rather than the fucking vaccines. And it's very costly to states that are carrying on the burden of not engaging in mass inoculation campaigns.
Then you got monoclonal antibodies. Boom. You're good. You're good. Not only that, here's another one. If you are, now this you have to check because this is something that Tim Pool told me, and I make sure this is true. That if you get the monoclonal antibodies and you don't have an infection, it offers you
Been in a
protection
bad
for 8
headspace
months.
lately, and
If
your
that's
stream is a
true,
constant I can
that
count
means
on.
the
Vaccine and
Thanks
booster
for
is still
Sans
free. No, no,
Smile.
no, no. The vaccines are still fucking free. Chatters, don't get me wrong. The antibody treatment, but what Joe's talking about is like vaccines are not free to make. Like people still have to pay for the vaccines. Not the American citizens, but like states have to pay for it. The government pays for it, right? And he's saying the same thing about monoclonal antibody treatments. Regeneron is selling its monoclonal antibody cocktail to the U.S. government at $2,100 per dose, the same price as Eli Lilly's treatment. That's about 52 times more than the cost of 2 doses of the Pfizer vaccine. Holy fuck. The Pfizer vaccine is still that expensive? God damn it, dude. I'm losing my fucking mind. Oh my God. We need immediately to institute medical communism. Okay? It's fucking wild how much we pay for medicine. It is fucking insane. They both make antibodies for your body, but the monoclonal antibodies are 80% more expensive than the vaccine.
Monoclonal antibodies are more effective than the vaccine. Because the vaccine, like 4 months.
Dog, that's so stupid. If you are faced with a situation where you have to get the antibodies, the monoclonal antibodies, that means you got COVID already. That means 1, you're crowding up a hospital bed. 2, there's a chance for fucking a variant to mutate. Okay, the virus to mutate. You're an incubator for a mutation, potential mutation. Okay, like and 3, it's significantly more costly on both you as the individual because you have to pay for that hospital treatment, and also on the state itself to purchase it. So, of course, the government is going to push for the vaccines, and for him to fucking turn around and like push this conspiracy theory is psychotic.
In.
And of course, he's doing it across the table from the world's largest Thumbelina Andy over here, Jocko fucking Wilnick, who like lies about how he wakes up at 5 a.m. every morning and takes a cold shower, and that's what he goes through. It's like, yeah, like no Navy SEAL is ever fucking on crack cocaine. Yeah, totally, dude. Yeah, Jocko never done drugs, dude. I believe it totally.
After 16 months.
I've literally never fucking seen a SEAL that isn't like high as fuck, okay? This notion that like as a Navy SEAL is like purely fucking sober is the most insane thing he talks about.
I know people that have got COVID. I know a guy who got COVID 3 months after getting vaccinated. And he was like, what the fuck, man? Like, why did I just do it? Because he got the vaccine was rough on him, too. Like, he got the vaccine, felt like dog shit.
Let me ask you this. If COVID didn't hit the news so much, like let's say there wasn't social media, let's say this happened in 1958.
Wee woo, hot take alert, dude. You can see he's trying to fire up the synapses, dude. Uh-oh, watch out.
Or something like this, right? Do you think we would still be talking about it, or you think people would just be like, "Oh yeah, that was a thing 6 months ago"?
It's hard to say because it is a part of the news, and it's valuable. Like it's an engine for fueling views. It's an engine for controlling the population. And here's my biggest fear: it's an engine for the institution of some sort of a social credit system. And I think that's coming. And I think we got to fight like fucking tooth and claw to keep that. Here it is. Regeneron released data that indicated 1-dose antibody cocktail cut the risk of catching the virus by nearly 82% from 2 to 8 months. For 2 to 8 months. I don't know why for 2 to 8 months. Maybe they just tested 2, but they tested some people to 8.
Wait, 2 to 8 months? Dog, that means on the fucking bottom end you have 2 months. At least the vaccine consistently offers 6 months of like full protection. The article that you're pointing is literally showing you that it's inconsistent. The coverage that you get from the monoclonal antibodies is inconsistent. It literally just proved you wrong. Why are these people like this, dude? It's so fucking weird. There's no shot he doesn't realize that, right? It seems like he's realizing it.
For 2 to 8 months. Maybe they just tested 2, but they tested some people to 8. So just giving them the cocktail cuts their chances of getting COVID. It's essentially like.
Oh my God. So yeah, I guess they just like tested people for 2 months. But they tested some for 8 months. 2 to 8 months implies that the monoclonal antibodies offer less consistent coverage than the fucking vaccines do. So you just literally owned your own argument. What the fuck? If you're gonna cherry pick data, the least you could have done is just like, I don't know, show like fake data or something. And once again, to the average citizen, the vaccine is free. The monoclonal antibodies are not. I can't stress this enough. Vaccine is free, okay, if you go and get it. The monoclonal antibodies that you get once you have COVID, they're not free, okay?
Like a vaccine. But it's something you can give to someone when they have COVID. It doesn't have any side effects, and it kills the COVID.
Why is he shilling for Big Pharma? I thought he hated it. That's the other part. Well, of course. Well, when they were fucking shilling, when they were saying like, oh, I hate Big Pharma or whatever, then they promote ivermectin. Well, then technically you're still shilling for Big Pharma, dumbass. You're just shilling for Merck. Okay? Merck makes ivermectin for humans. There is no escaping Big Pharma in that regard, okay? Just like when you shill for monoclonal antibodies, you're still shilling for Big Pharma.
Wild shit, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like it's just always, it's such a clickbait story,
Right.
and we just keep propagating the story over and over and over and over and over again.
There's a little bit of that, but there's also very clear influence of both the media and of the politicians by these massive pharmaceutical companies, particularly like Pfizer. Like, brought to you by Pfizer. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, I saw
that
your
compilation
clip about that. That was
is
insane.
wild.
Well, that was another flip-flop. Was before, when Trump was president,
Yeah.
they were saying, oh, I would never get this vaccine,
Yes.
and now all of a sudden it's imposed.
The same people.
There's
There's compilations of these people saying, yeah, you go ahead and take that Trump vaccine. Who the fuck knows what's in that? The same people, like, if you don't take that vaccine, you're a fucking piece of shit and a plague rat. You're a murderer.
That's
You've
real.
killed my grandma. Yeah.
That's real.
That's real. Yeah, those tweets side by side, there's a host of them. A bunch of people have curated these.
See, people
can
are
find
losing
them.
their minds, bro.
Oh, yeah, they are. And it's people that are not, they're cowards, and they're not good at adversity.
The same guy said that vaccines are cheaper and
Yippee.
best way to go.
They're
Scheifler.
cheap, and you can make billions of doses, he said, but our data.
I fucking called it. I didn't even have to read the article. Oh, come on. Come on. I literally did not have to read the article to know that the fucking vaccines in that very same article would mention that fucking vaccines are cheaper.
Data now indicates that antibodies are the key player in the sense that they're sufficient. You might not need the cellular immunity.
It's so funny because like you can hear the fear in Jamie's voice when he's like, oh no, I'm about to fucking correct Joseph Robinette Rogan over here. Pull that shit up. University strikes again. Yeah, dude.
It might add something, but antibodies are sufficient based on these data to protect you from getting COVID-19. Listen, I don't know why it costs more money. I don't know what the price is. Okay, it says he didn't think the Regeneron could produce enough antibodies at an affordable price to use them as widely as vaccine. Interesting.
So then you give it to people that are a bigger risk.
Yeah, or give them to people that catch it.
Yeah.
Giving to people to catch it. You're giving the vaccines to everybody, right? So you need hundreds of millions of people. You're assuming you're not going to get hundreds of millions of infections of COVID, not at every one chance.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even saying you shouldn't get vaccinated. But what I'm saying is they're trying to keep people from getting this.
My girlfriend's a PA for a COVID testing place. They offer the monoclonal, and it's an absolute cash grab. Tells me the daily that monoclonal is only temporary. I mean, it's still an experimental yet effective treatment. Okay, so I'm not going to discount it. Regeneron takes 30 to 60 minute IV transfusions of a series of 4 injections, and you got fucking COVID at that point. So these dumbasses literally, instead of getting one fucking jab with the vaccine and avoiding like the worst consequences of getting COVID, God forbid if they do end up getting COVID, are literally fucking strapping on for the whole ride and getting COVID on top of it. It's the most idiotic baboon thing you could fucking do.